experience in Canada started with a lot of changes, but it turned out to be better than expected.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah. There was a certain amount of apprehension while waiting for the results. It was almost 1 year long process, but after I had received the acceptance letter, the excitement and the joy that my family and I experienced looking forward for the new experience to come. I couldn't believe that I was going to study abroad. That was my first experience flying, and I was very excited and at the same time a little bit confused because I didn't know what to do at the airports, and that was my first experience with the inability to communicate. For instance, at the airplane, the immigration form was handed out to each one of us, and we had to give it to the authority in Toronto, our first stop in Canadian territory. But I didn't know how to complete it, nor how to ask for help. Luckily, one of the Brazilian students that I had just met before I got on the airplane asked a man to assist us. From Toronto, I flew to Windsor, Ontario, where I came to study. At the airport, there was a driver waiting for me holding the sign of Suncare College. Then from there, he drove me to Suncare College residence. When I arrived at Suncare College residence, I encountered some more difficulty communicating in English. Two Brazilian students were passing by at the time and were called upon by the receptionist, and then they started helping me with translating. Then I was taken to the international department and then introduced to my other friends from Brazil. Second day, it was around 2 p.m. and I was sitting on the couch in the lobby at Suncare College residence, and I was very hungry. And in my apartment, there wasn't food, and I didn't know where to buy anything. And all the Brazilian students were not at the residence. Suddenly, one of the housekeepers came over and asked me a few questions. I couldn't understand much, but when she asked me if I was hungry, I said yes. That was one of the most important questions for me that moment. Then she took me to the kitchen and gave me a sandwich and some yogurt. That was one of the most delicious meals that I have ever eaten. My first day of school in the English program, I took the placement test and I was placed in the foundation level.
I'm usually the first face that they see. I help to give them their placement test so that we can put them in the appropriate level for them. Many times the students have no English or very little English.
I was a little bit confused in the beginning because I couldn't understand much, but as the time went by, I felt that I had the same performance of the other students. I felt that I was doing relatively well. Then after 1 month and a half, we took the test to advance to the next level, basic. And that was the hardest moment of my experience here. I was the last one to receive the marks and the only Brazilian student to fail on that test. I was really disappointed with myself, and that week I decided to throw my shyness in the garbage and talk to any and everyone as much as possible. And then I started watching videos about self-development and business, and then was when I bought my first book. It talks about self-development and leadership, and it has changed my life. And since then I have been reading and buying books on those subjects. Having the support of my caring family really helped me go through those moments here. And in June was the first time that I saw them on the internet since I came to Canada. They live in a farm and there is no internet over there. So in June they went to Palmas, the city where my sister and some relative of ours live. And the emotion of seeing them on the internet was really big. I decided to volunteer in different activities throughout the city to further develop my English skills. I had the opportunity to meet people of various backgrounds, and I discovered how welcoming and friendly Canadians truly are. I volunteered for Ontario Summer Games as well as for Ontario 55 Plus Summer Games. In 8 months, my English had improved surprisingly. I had reached the intermediate level and professors had turned into friends.
We come together as strangers. By the time the students are ready to go back home and take on a career or a school activity back home, they are part of our family.
They come as strangers and they leave as friends. And in the interim, it is wonderful to see the different cultures, learn about each other, and they become friends. At the end of the semester, they're all getting each other's email because they know that their paths go different ways, but I think many of my students stay in touch with each other, and that makes me feel wonderful.
When I'm teaching ESL students, I feel a sense of pride and enjoyment in my job. And to see them interacting with students from different cultures and from around the world, it's just such a joy to see them progress and to mature in their English capabilities.
In the web development program was the first time that I was in a class full of English speaking students. I took 4 courses in 1 semester. Initially I was unsure whether or not I would keep up with my classmates. But as soon as I started this program, I was actively involved in the class discussions and able to excel throughout the semester.
First met Jose when he came into the program in January into one of my classes. He did exceptionally well. He received an A grade in all of his classes, I believe. He is a strong web developer. He came in with very good skills to start with, and I know he left with more skills. More importantly than that, though, he's a great individual, a friendly guy, got along really well with everybody in the class, participated in the class, seemed to get along well with all of his teachers. And because of that, we had no problem at all finding him a job placement this summer, and from what I hear, it's gone very, very well, and they're very happy with Jose as well.
In 2015, I volunteered for men's volleyball championship at Suncare College. I also volunteered for FINA World Championship at Aquatic Center, Carousel of the Nations, Color Run, as well as for the 5 days camping for children from 4 to 12 years old. One of the fun activities provided by the college was a 2-day trip to Toronto and Niagara Falls. In Toronto, we enjoyed the day exploring the sights and sounds of the city, including CN Tower. In Niagara Falls, we toured the city for the entire day. Another fun activity that I had the chance to experience was camping and kayaking. My friends and I also enjoy bowling and partying around the city. In the winter time, I ice skated and tobogganing for the first time. I also went to many events held at Cedar College. Cedar Point, known for the scary rides, go-kart, was really fun. The Polar Plunge at Cedar College was a charity that I participated in. But this particular charity was really different in the sense that we had to jump in minus 18 degrees Celsius water as a form of raising money.
Hello, Brazil! If you're from Brazil, probably you shouldn't be here doing this. There's something wrong about that. Here they come. Uh-oh.
My next stop was my internship. I was interviewed for this position, and what initially attracted me to this company was their mission, vision, and values. In addition, one of the factors that made my decision easy was the fact that the college provided me with transportation to and from work daily, as this town is far from Windsor. At the beginning, it was a little hard because I had to set up the environment to start building the website, and most of it was new for me. But as the time went by, I learned a lot and things became easier. I started to gain more experience with web development and the business. As the only Brazilian intern with the company, this in turn helped further develop my language abilities.
The work that Jose has done so far to date, until he has to leave, has been exceptional. A valued part of the team, great communicator, always joking around, having a good time.
Jose has been working with us for the past couple months, doing all of our internet stuff as far as our websites and everything else. He's doing a fantastic job. It's been great to have him here.
My co-workers were very nice, and it made my experience there even more pleasant. Working for ATI, Agriculture Technology Incorporated, I got to meet some successful businessmen, and talking to them, I got a better idea on how some big business work, and it made me eager to start my own business. So after I returned to Brazil and finish my university degree, my plan is to open my own company.
Jose, thank you. It's been a great experience, and we're going to stay in contact with you.
Have a very successful career and also keep in touch. We would certainly like to hear from you in the future.
And hopefully I get to come down to Brazil and hang out with him in Carnival, right? Nice to meet you. Take care, Jose, and good luck with your future.
We're definitely going to miss him. I think that the people that he's met in the community are going to miss him. He took every opportunity there was to volunteer in the city, to meet new people, young or old. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what their background was. He really connected with people here in Canada, so he's definitely going to be missed, and we hope to keep in contact for sure.
Thank God for the opportunity and for all I have achieved in Canada. I would like to thank my supportive family. I am at this point of my life due to their example and educational backing. I would also like to give a special thanks to the government of Brazil for the opportunity and for the financial support to expand my education and bring back to Brazil new technologies, a second language, and the skills to be more productive Brazilian citizen. I think all the friends I made in Canada, they have helped me to better my language skills and to adapt to a different culture. I would like to give a special thanks to those that have had a direct hand in helping me to learn English. I thank all my professors, especially Claudio Monteiro and his family, Ellen Moreira, Silmara Barreiro, and Mauro Henrique, who helped me directly in the process of coming to Canada, to Paulo Vasconcelos and all my friends in Brazil. Thank you.